This is the Fed's new system that offers instant payments 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whew, just in time, because that's what I've been looking for. It begins in 3 months. It opens up April 1st, but you can be a part of it in July. So what does it even mean? Well, the Fed released a nifty little animation to explain it to all of us dummies. Come on, Wally, let's watch.
How will the FedNow service work? Imagine the owner of a coffee shop is running low on coffee beans and needs to schedule a quick delivery. She places an order, and the coffee bean company sends her a request for payment. She responds to the request for payment and pays for the coffee beans right then and there through an app from her credit union, which uses the FedNow service.
Okay, I want to pause real quick here before moving on. What's not explained here is something called digital ID. The Fed, along with the bank, now presumably have a record of what you're buying through your digital ID. Can you see where this is leading to? And I want to compare this to what India has been doing. India has been doing the instant payments for a long time now. They started with building a digital infrastructure that began with digital IDs for 90% of the entire population. What was it they said we needed for COVID? That's right, a digital ID. Let me give you this article, quote, "A digital ID card dramatically lowers the cost of confirming people's identities. Open access software standards facilitate digital payments between banks, fintech firms, and digital wallets." Wow, that's really great. That's swell. Dad's going to be really excited when he gets home. It goes on to say that personal data, that includes biometric, is part of the digital ID. What was it I read from the Department of Homeland Security yesterday? Oh, that biometric is going to happen and will be your only choice if you want to fly in the near future. Oh. Now, none of that was explained in this little video, was it? I don't know if this is what's being planned, but if India is the flagship example here, as the IMF seems to be implying, shouldn't someone be asking this question?
Once she initiates the payment, her credit union screens the payment and sends an ISO 20022 compliant payment message, either directly or through a service provider to the FedNow service over the Federal Reserve's FedLine network. The FedNow service instantly validates the payment message and passes it along to the coffee bean supplier's bank. In real time, the supplier's bank confirms to the FedNow service that it intends to accept the payment, and the FedNow service debits and credits the master accounts of both the shop owners and the coffee bean supplier's financial institutions or the master accounts of their correspondents.
And this could save tens of minutes. I don't think they needed to waste all of the production time here. Let me translate for you. It's a whole new system that's faster and better than traditional banking. You can go to a grocery store and buy a few items with your hard-earned money, and then you present your Fed card with a trusty Federal Reserve representative, and they'll say, "Oh, yeah, you're too fat, so you can't buy any of these things." The end. That's it. This sounds a lot like what we fear a CBDC might be. And that's probably why we're not given the full detail on what's involved here. It's probably also why it's being reported that FedNow actually alleviates the concerns that we have over CBDCs. Kind of like this article. Yahoo is saying that FedNow calls into question whether a digital dollar is even still being considered. It states this system, quote, supplants the benefits of blockchain-based U.S. central bank digital currency, and that, quote, FedNow addresses the issues that have been raised about the need for a CBDC. Oh, okay, because it looks like it does a lot of the same things under a different name. So there's nothing to see here, I guess. There's nothing to worry about. CBDC, whoo, dodge that bullet. FedNow is better, safer, and probably means that we're not going to get a central bank digital dollar. Hey, can I take you back to India for a second? Because I love elephants and tea. This is another article from the IMF. How India's central bank helped spur digital payments boom. Goes on to explain the marvel that is the Indian Central Bank, the digital payment system. First, it started with the digital ID, then central bank digital payments. So they don't need a CBDC, right? Yeah. Luckily, I don't read Hindu. Hidden down in the last 3 paragraphs are statements from Indian government officials that reveal their next step is to fully implement a central bank digital currency. What? Their system that's similar to FedNow wasn't a replacement for CBDC. It was part of their overall plan. Jinkies. And they would have got away with it if it wasn't for those crazy kids in that van. Oh, and then there's this little nugget. Quote, CBDCs could actually be able to kill whatever little case there could be for private cryptocurrencies. Because, privacy, it's not part of the overall plan. What do you have to hide? Is this our future? Well, if so, it all begins in July.